You think you know how to take care of your Toyota, but what if everything you have been told is only half the story? Most Toyota drivers never learn the things mechanics actually do behind the scenes. The secret shortcuts, hidden adjustments, and little-known techniques that can instantly improve fuel economy, power, and longevity on Camrys, Corollas, RAV4s, and Tacomas. In this video, I am revealing 20 illegal Toyota car tricks mechanics use but never teach drivers. Once you know them, you will never look at your Toyota the same again. 1. The hidden maintenance mode that resets everything. Every Toyota since 2010 has a secret maintenance mode buried in the settings that almost nobody knows exists. Mechanics use it after every major service to reset oil life monitors, tire rotation reminders, and service intervals. But here is what they do not tell you. This same menu lets you clear adaptation data for the throttle body, the transmission, and even the hybrid battery management system on Prius and Camry hybrids. Access it by holding the trip reset button while turning the ignition to on, then cycle through the hidden menus. Clearing these adaptations after cleaning the throttle body or changing transmission fluid forces the ECU to relearn with fresh data. Skip this and your Toyota keeps using corrupted logic from the old conditions, quietly wasting fuel and performance for months. Number 2. The Camry and Corolla throttle relearn trick. Toyota throttle bodies are electronic, and they learn idle position over tens of thousands of miles. Carbon buildup slowly changes that learned position until idle becomes rough, and throttle response feels delayed. Mechanics know the secret reset. Turn the ignition on without starting the engine. Press the gas pedal to the floor and hold it for 10 seconds. Release the pedal. Turn the ignition off. Wait 30 seconds. Start the engine normally. The ECU has now reset throttle position memory and will relearn idle from scratch. This single trick fixes rough idle, hesitation, and poor fuel economy on Camrys, Corollas, and RAV4s without replacing the throttle body. Dealers charge hundreds for this, and you just did it for free. 3. Resetting the Toyota hybrid battery after a 12-volt replacement. When you replace the 12-volt battery in a Prius, Camry hybrid, or RAV4 hybrid, the hybrid system loses its learned voltage reference. The result is strange behavior. The gas engine runs longer than necessary. Regenerative braking feels inconsistent. Fuel economy drops by 5 to 10 miles per gallon. Mechanics know to reset the hybrid system after battery replacement, but they rarely explain it. The trick is simple. After installing the new battery, disconnect both terminals again for 2 minutes. Reconnect them. Start the car and let it idle in park for 5 minutes with all accessories off. Then drive gently for 10 miles without using the gas pedal aggressively. This teaches the hybrid controller the correct voltage behavior and restores normal operation. Without this reset, your hybrid quietly wastes fuel for weeks. 4. The RAV4 and Tacoma transmission relearn that saves thousands. Toyota automatic transmissions, especially in RAV4s, Highlanders, and Tacomas, learn driving patterns aggressively. Towing, city traffic, or aggressive driving can corrupt that learning. The transmission can start shifting late, hunting for gears, and burning excess fuel. Dealers often diagnose this as transmission wear and recommend fluid flushes or even rebuilds. Mechanics know the truth. A simple relearn fixes it instantly. To perform the relearn, drive to a safe, empty road. Accelerate smoothly to 50 miles per hour. Lift off the gas and coast to 25 miles per hour without touching the brake. Repeat this cycle 5 times. The transmission control module relearns shift points from clean data. Shifts smooth out, fuel economy improves, and you just saved yourself $2,000 on a transmission service. 5. Clearing permanent codes without replacing parts. Toyota permanent codes. terrify drivers because they seem unfixable without part replacement. Mechanics know better. Permanent codes clear themselves when the ECU sees enough correct behavior. The trick is forcing that behavior. After fixing the actual cause, which is often something simple like a loose gas cap, a dirty mass airflow sensor, or a weak battery connection, do not clear the code manually. Instead, drive specific cycles. A cold start, a 10-minute highway cruise, a steady deceleration, and a restart. The ECU runs readiness monitors, and when enough monitors pass, the permanent code disappears automatically. Dealers charge diagnostic fees and for part replacements. You just need patience and the correct driving conditions. 6. The Prius forced regeneration for hybrid battery health. Prius batteries degrade when individual cells fall out of balance. Mechanics use a forced regeneration trick to rebalance cells without expensive conditioning services. Drive the Prius until the battery shows 2 bars or less on the display. Then drive on the highway at a steady speed for 20 to 30 miles without using cruise control. This forces the engine to run continuously and deeply recharge the hybrid battery. The battery management system rebalances weak cells during this deep charge cycle. Repeat this every few months and your Prius battery lasts years longer. Dealers sell battery reconditioning for $1,500. This trick costs you nothing but time and gas. 7. The hidden diagnostic mode in every Toyota. Hold down the odometer reset button while turning the ignition to the on position. The dashboard enters diagnostic mode. You can now test every gauge, warning light, and display function. Mechanics use this to verify instrument cluster failures before replacing expensive parts. But here is the secret. This mode also shows hidden trouble codes that never trigger the check engine light. Scroll through the screens and you will see stored codes for systems like VSC, traction control, and airbag faults that Toyota scan tools charge hundreds to reveal. Knowing these codes before visiting a dealer prevents surprise bills and unnecessary diagnostics. 8. Resetting the Toyota maintenance light without a scan tool. When the maintenance-required light comes on, most drivers visit a dealer or shop to reset it. Mechanics laugh because the reset is built into every Toyota. Turn the ignition off, hold the trip odometer reset button. Turn the ignition on while holding the button. The light flashes and goes out. That is it. This works on every Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Tacoma, and Tundra made in the last 20 years. Dealers charge $20 to $40 for this reset during oil changes. You just save that money every single service. 9. The throttle body cleaning trick that replaces tune-ups. Modern Toyotas do not need traditional tune-ups, but dealers still sell them for $300 to $500. What they actually do is clean the throttle body. Carbon buildup restricts airflow, confuses idle control, and causes hesitation. Mechanics charge hundreds, but the fix costs $10. Remove the intake tube. Spray throttle body cleaner on the bore and plate. Wipe gently with a microfiber cloth. Reinstall. That is it. Your Camry or Corolla suddenly idles smoothly, responds instantly, and feels brand new. Dealers do not teach this because a $10 can of cleaner does not justify their invoice. 10. Using the Tacoma and 4Runner hidden four-wheel drive diagnostic screens. Toyota trucks and sport utility vehicles with four-wheel drive have hidden diagnostic screens that show transfer case engagement, wheel speed sensors, and differential lock status in real time. Access this by pressing and holding the four-wheel drive selector buttons in a specific sequence while starting the vehicle. Mechanics use this to diagnose four-wheel drive issues without expensive scan tools. You can use it to verify your transfer case is engaging properly before off-roading or during winter driving. This prevents expensive towing bills and ensures your four-wheel drive system works when you need it most. 11. The Camry and Avalon TPMS reset without tools. When you rotate tires or adjust pressure, the tire pressure monitoring system often shows warnings even when pressures are correct. Dealers charge $50 to reset the system, but the trick is free. Set all tires to the correct pressure shown on the door jamb sticker. Turn the ignition on without starting the engine. Press and hold the TPMS reset button under the steering wheel for 3 seconds. The light will blink 3 times. Drive for 10 minutes at speeds above 25 miles per hour. The system recalibrates automatically. This works on Camrys, Avalons, Corollas, and most RAV4s. Dealers never explain it because it costs them easy revenue. 12. Clearing fuel trim memory after mass airflow sensor replacement. When a mechanic replaces the mass airflow sensor on a Toyota, the engine often still runs poorly afterward. Not because the new sensor is bad, but because the engine control unit is still using old fuel trims that adapted to the dirty sensor. Mechanics quietly perform a reset of the fuel trims after sensor replacement so the engine relearns correctly. Without this reset, your Camry or Corolla will continue dumping excess fuel, killing miles per gallon, and degrading throttle response. The reset requires either a scan tool command or a 15-minute battery disconnect followed by a specific drive cycle. Dealers skip this step because it makes the repair seem like magic when they finally do it. 13. The RAV4 Hybrid Electric Vehicle Mode Trick for maximum efficiency. RAV4 Hybrid and Highlander Hybrid drivers rarely use electric vehicle mode correctly. Mechanics know it is not just a button you press randomly. The trick is preconditioning. Before entering slow traffic or parking lots, accelerate gently to build the hybrid battery charge above 6 bars. Then press electric vehicle mode. The vehicle can now run on battery power alone for a mile or more, saving significant fuel. Most drivers press electric vehicle mode with a depleted battery and wonder why it shuts off after 100 feet. Learning when to charge the battery and when to use electric vehicle mode can improve city fuel economy by 10 to 15%. Dealers never teach this because selling hybrids is easier when drivers do not understand how to use them. 14. The Prius oil maintenance reset without a dealer. Prius oil maintenance reminders are notoriously persistent, and dealers charge $30 just to reset the light after an oil change. The trick is simple but hidden. Turn the ignition on without starting the car. Shift to park. Press the power button twice without touching the brake. The dashboard lights up. Press and hold the trip button, then press the power button once more. The oil maintenance screen appears. Select Reset. Confirm. Done. This works on every Prius generation and saves you $30 every oil change. 15. Forcing a Camry or Corolla ECU relearn after repairs. When you replace sensors, clean the intake, or fix vacuum leaks on a Toyota, the ECU can keep running on old adaptive data. Mechanics reset the ECU so it relearns correctly, but they rarely explain it. Disconnect the negative battery terminal. Press the brake pedal 20 times to drain residual power. Wait 15 minutes. Reconnect the battery. Start the engine and let it idle for 5 minutes with all accessories off. Then drive gently for 10 miles, with varied speeds and no hard acceleration. This clears corrupted fuel trims, idle control, and throttle memory. Your Toyota suddenly runs smoother, responds better, and gets better fuel economy. Skip this, and performance stays on the table forever. 16. The Tacoma and Tundra transmission fluid trick. Toyota trucks often develop harsh shifts or delayed engagement around 100,000 miles. Dealers recommend full fluid flushes for $300 to $500. Mechanics know a cheaper trick. Drain and fill the transmission pan 3 times over 3 weeks. This exchanges 60 to 70% of the old fluid without the risk of flushing debris into the valve body. Between each drain and fill, drive normally for a week so the transmission circulates the new fluid. By the third cycle, shifts smooth out and engagement improves. This method costs half as much as a flush and is safer for high-mileage transmissions. Dealers do not teach this because flush machines generate more profit. 17. Reading hidden Toyota fault codes without a scanner. Every Toyota stores basic fault codes that you can read without expensive tools. Turn the ignition on and off 3 times quickly, ending in the on position. The check engine light blinks in patterns. Count the blinks. Long blinks are 10s, short blinks are 1s. For example, 2 long blinks and 3 short blinks equal code 23. Write down the code and search it online. This works on older Toyotas and reveals issues before paying for dealer diagnostics. Newer models require the odometer button method, but the principle is the same. Mechanics use this constantly to avoid hauling scan tools. Drivers are never taught it exists. 18. The vehicle stability control and traction control reset after battery work. When you disconnect the battery on a Toyota, the vehicle stability control and traction control systems lose their calibration. The result is overly aggressive intervention, poor handling feel, and sometimes persistent warning lights. Dealers charge diagnostic fees to recalibrate. The trick is free. After reconnecting the battery, turn the steering wheel fully left, then fully right, then center. Turn the ignition off, then on. Drive the car in a safe, open area and make several figure-8 turns at low speed. The vehicle stability control and traction control systems relearn steering angle and yaw sensor data. The lights turn off and handling normalizes. This takes 5 minutes and saves $100 in dealer fees. 19. The Prius 12-volt battery trick that prevents hybrid system failures. Prius hybrid systems are incredibly sensitive to 12-volt battery health. A weak 12-volt battery causes the hybrid system to throw codes, refuse to start, or enter limp mode, even when the hybrid battery is perfectly healthy. Mechanics know to replace the 12-volt battery preventatively every 4 to 5 years, not when it dies. Most Prius owners wait until failure, then panic when the car will not start and the dash lights up like a Christmas tree. Replacing the 12-volt battery before it weakens prevents expensive dealer diagnostics and hybrid system relearning procedures. This single habit saves Prius owners more money than any other maintenance item. 20. The Toyota engine control unit reset that fixes everything. After any major repair, sensor replacement, or battery work, professional mechanics perform a full engine control unit reset to clear all adaptive memory. Disconnect the negative battery terminal. Wait 30 seconds. Reconnect it. Turn the ignition on without starting the engine. Press the gas pedal to the floor and hold for 10 seconds. Release. Turn the ignition off. Wait 30 seconds. Start the engine and let it idle for 10 minutes with no accessories on. Then drive gently for 20 miles with varied speeds. This resets throttle memory, fuel trims, idle control, transmission shift logic, and oxygen sensor learning. Your Toyota runs like new because the engine control unit is finally operating on clean, accurate data instead of corrupted adaptations. Dealers charge hundreds for calibration services. This costs nothing but time. If this list surprised you, comment the number 20 below so I know you made it to the end. And if you want more Toyota-specific mechanic tricks that quietly save thousands, subscribe. The next video exposes the single Toyota maintenance mistake that destroys engines long before the check engine light ever comes on.